Welcome back for race 11, day 2 of the Nationals Kitefoil Racing Series in Australia in beautiful sunny Perth. And we've got gorgeous conditions again, southwest breeze. This is the second last race of day 2 and the last one we have coverage for. You can see there, nice gentle sea breeze coming over, 15 metre conditions. The standard course, windward leeward 2 laps through the start, up to the top mark, around the port rounding, through and split at the bottom, 2 laps, and then a starboard rounding at the bottom gate, round the pin end and through for the finish. Here's the story so far. Hector, 1, 2, 3. Zach, 1, 2, 3, 4 bullets. So Zach well in charge. Alex and Scott following up pretty closely with a series of 2s, a couple of 1s there. And Oscar Tim behind them. And that chase group there, Alty, Bree, Phil, Jane. Andy Cooksey in there as well, but listed down the bottom because he only did a few races. And then the best of the rest, Jake, Ludo, Ant, Boris, Louis, and Dan Anderson, Riley Sinclair, etc. We're brought by WA Government, Lottery West, Dodo Industries, Gin Fly Mags, Aspire, and Innate Brewing. Fantastic beer. And we will be getting the lineup very shortly. The wind still a very nice light gentle breeze. You can see the conditions on the water pretty smooth. Here's a message from the sponsors. So, a few white caps there. Getting a bit later in the day, obviously. Wind still knocking around that sort of, I guess, 13, 15 knots or something. Most people still on 15 metre kites. A mix of, obviously, all the different brands here. Fly Surfer, Gin, Flymax, F1, Ozone, obviously. And that's all the race kites. Also a mix of Formula X equipment there in Gin Instincts, F1 Halos, Duotone Kappa. Hopefully I haven't missed any there. Fly Surfer Soul going across the back. Bit of a port attack there. So we've got the same pattern here again. We've got the lime green and grey units coming down to the tail end. Hector seems to be getting amongst that business at the tail end. I was going to contest there. Oscar on the grey. F1 Diablo. I think that might be Alty or Phil right behind there. Maybe Alty right behind. Jake going bottom end of the course. Ludo in the middle on the blue kite. Jane and Hector both on those red 15 metre Flymax booms. And a ton of Instincts coming behind on that Formula X division. And this is a really close line. If you draw a diagonal across that front, this is anyone's lead. It's very hard to tell who's actually at the front. Which one of these is which? I think we've got Lando all the way at the pin end. Oscar just windward of him. That looks like Scott the next one up. Andy Cooksey on the light blue Flymax boom in the middle. And Jane Taylor making fantastic pace there. Really matching it very closely with that front group of the elite men's fleet. And right up the top, Hector has opted to go pretty high there and holding really good ground. He looks like he might even be leading. But there's Zach. I didn't see him at the bottom. He has gone churn and burn, flying again. He's just going to try and leave this pack behind and go across the front. And looking at that, he might even do it. So off he goes. And yeah, he's crossing the fleet in front. And I think that might have been Scott Whitehead there. He was not able to. Whoever the other... Yeah, that was Lando. Yeah, so Lando was higher. Scott tried to burn across the fleet. Lando was too fast for him. Forced him to go behind with starboard rights. So Lando got that crossing on Scott Whitehead. But did not get it on Zach. Zach went across the front. So that was a pretty good drag race there. Assuming they sort of got a really similar start. I'd call that Zach in that drag race, and Lando is smidgen behind, and Scott coming third there, probably Hector in fourth, but all really, really close. So we will see. Yeah, so Hector there's got 50 odd metres behind. They've obviously all got their heads down here. This is it's game on for this front four. And you can see that staggering, which puts them almost on the same ladder rung. Maybe Zach just getting a tiny, tiny little edge in front. But it comes down to the smallest margins in these things. These guys, there's almost nothing in it. But you can see he's creeping centimetre, a centimetre, a centimetre. Hector battling to hang on there. And doing well to stay with this group on these, all these guys on the absolute best equipment that money can buy. Noah in the background there on a Flymax Toon V1. Heading downwind. I'm not sure where he's been, but heading back to get a start and knock around the course. Noah doing extremely, extremely well for his first regatta. And I'm trying to pick this top mark here. It must be coming up pretty soon. These guys will be approaching that layer line. They'll start looking over their shot. There it is. They'll be looking now who's going to go. Zach's in front here, but can he tack into Lando? Lando does the nice thing and actually tacks where he should instead of holding them out. I guess with everyone on your hammer, you got to. And congratulations, Lando, on that drag race. That was a close one and gets around there in first place. Really nice effort. And now he's got to hold off. I think, oh no, we've had a little stack there. Hector has crashed. I think Scott took a bump and Hector ventilated and went down. So Hector has fallen and is well back in fourth place by at least 100 metres. Scott running in third there. But yeah, Zach and Lando right at the front. Chase pack, we have, I would assume, Alti, Oscar, Cooksey, all very, very close. Those group, really not far behind that lead group, but not quite on the pace. Bree Whitehead there to the right of that shot as well. And Jane Taylor will be right behind them as well on that red Boom 15. Back to this front group of four. There you can see Andy Cooksey heading for the bar. Had enough for the day. And the front group of four driving into that bottom. Hector looking to go a bit further down the course. I think he's looking for a bit of wind advantage there. May as well coming fourth, trying to catch up from that off that he had at the top mark. And you can see the gates in the background there. Looks like Zach is pretty much on a ley line straight for those. Hector would be much the same, but he's got a bit of wind up his sleeve now, having gone a bit deeper, so he'll be looking for a really blisteringly fast run in there. He was significantly behind. And Zach doing really well downwind there. You can see on this angle, he's really pulling good angle and speed downwind. Just seems to have another gear. Scott there at the top of screen, not quite matching. Not sure what's going on there, but just having a bit of trouble downwind by the look of that. And Zach's executed that beautifully for a nice rounding here. He'll be going around to starboard. Chuck that kite up high. Go in fat, come out skinny. Get a good high line, hammer down. And Hector has done an incredible pull-up there, looking to go off to the right of the course there. He's gone all the way to the full ley line, putting no jibe in, saving himself a turn. And he'll be heading up the course a bit and throwing a tack and coming in through the middle. So that will be interesting to see, doing the right thing, being so far behind as he was after that crash. He may as well change it up and not follow the group and look for some extra advantage. So he's going to go up the centre of the course. Zach and Lando were in a head-on battle, and now it's turning into a battle for second. Interestingly, there again, Zach seems to just pick that lower angle, despite being on a VMG2 and just looking for just flat-out speed, and he seems to get it. So it's working for him. Zach, I believe, on a Chubanga V3 Olympic race foil, handcrafted by Luca in Europe. And I think Lando would be on the same. Chewbanga V3. He's changed from Levitas R5. Scott on Levitas R5. And Ludo also on Chewbanga V3. So, here we go. Hector in the bottom of the screen here on that beautiful bright red boom. Has he caught up to these boys? This is interesting. Decides not to find out. He wants to go to the centre. He does not want to see if he can catch and cross. He's going to put his head down and try and get back up with that group. Ben in the background there on the Sonic 3, doing the right thing, staying out of the way of the people fighting it out at the front. The last thing you want is the winners having a collision and causing an issue at the podium end of the fleet. So Ben doing the right thing there. Good on you, mate. Monique DeVries in the background there on the Sol, heading downwind. And Zach has got some sort of outboard motor apparently on this thing and is just jetting away away from the fastest riders in the country like they're standing still. That's a pretty insane effort. He is just on fire today. And these guys, it's interesting, this course is so clear, you can see, and especially when you're to windward, you know where everybody is. And it's just a matter of pushing with every ounce to try and extract every bit of angle and speed. Meanwhile, Zach Pullen's just about already at the ley line. Going through for his tack. Beautiful effort. No mistakes there. And this one is a battle for second. So let's have a look. Lando appears to be in a commanding position. Hector doesn't look like he's made up that much of that ground, despite his slightly different tactic. The left of the course is stronger here. But Hector trying something different. But he's pulled something, and he's going to actually... He crosses in front of Scott. That's an incredible comeback. He was 50 metres behind him and has caught him there and caught him through that different tactic going around the gate with a port rounding at the bottom. And now he's chasing down Lando. Watch out, Lando. This is the final downwind. Heading down to the bottom gates, these guys will be looking to cut in early here is the standard practice. They'll be jibing very shortly. There goes a couple of riders heading upwind as well. And Zach about to put that final jibe in. Second from final jibe, I should say. The one to head across to the gates. Cutting through the fleet here. Looking, picking a spot. Well done. That's Dan Anderson. He's going past there on the upwind leg. And one of the F1s there, potentially Jake, Tim. And one of the Instincts as well, going upwind there. Those Instincts, fantastic kite, doing very nicely in the Formula X division. Dominated by those fantastic kites. Durable and incredibly fast. A really game-changing race kite that's tough as well. And Zach getting lonely out the front on his own. Here's the race for second. Oh, and Hector's caught up. He was miles behind. He's got the bit in his teeth now. He really is desperate to get every point he can get in this contest. And some beautiful drone footage there right above these riders. Who is going to win this fight? Hector has gone early, which is a good tactic on this second lap. When you've got that starboard rounding at the bottom gate, as soon as you put that jibe in, you're on starboard and you come in with rights. So he's got himself in a really solid position here. Lando just needs to push harder and harder. His position here, he needs to get and jibe inside, but he has to be careful not to interfere and get a protest. Zach there cruising, foot off the gas. Lando looking to jibe inside, nicely done, and drops that kite in front. Beautiful work. Puts himself in that strong front position heading in. Hector a little bit further to leeward there, which means he's got a bit more horsepower up his sleeve here. He is going to go in with a little bit more speed. And watch out, Lando. It's neck and neck. And Hector looking to do outside and going to try and cut through. And goes outside to it and drops it in front. Beautiful cut off. That was a sensational move. Outside to inside. executed to perfection. A little bit of extra pace from going leeward on the previous gate and smokes him into the finish. Yeah, that's an incredible comeback. And Hector had a crash in that race and still came through for that second place. So, yeah, really good work. And all those points count enormously. Scott rounding out the 4. He's normally contesting with there, but he's off the pace there. Not sure what's going on. And then, of course, we have our chase group. You can see Bree there, Alti, Jane Taylor, and Ludo. And I think that's Ant Pillinger there with that chase pack. So that's a good effort there. Or maybe Boris. Boris ultimately winning the Formula X division on the Gin Instinct. A beautiful job. Jane Taylor there on the red kite. Ant or Boris on the blue kite, the dark blue. Ludo on the R1V4. And heading back to the finish. Monique De Vries on the sole there in front. The red and grey kite. Dan Anderson jibing through there on the Duotone Kappa. Coming into the finish. One more Gin Instinct. Potentially Louis or myself chasing Dan. And an F1 Halo. And that just about rounds it out. Another beautiful day on the water. And this is our last coverage for day 2. Race 11. We did not catch race 12 with the drone. So we will be going straight into day 3 with the next one. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be finishing out with a message from our sponsors about the Gin Instinct kite.